Hi, gorgeous neurodivergent souls. This is Robbie from InnerPowered Life, and thank you for stopping by to check me out. For those of you who may not be familiar with me, I'm a late diagnosed ADHD individual who has had a journey through a lifetime of bullying and abuse experiences. And I got to a point where I decided that wasn't going to be my story going forward, and I wanted to do something about it. And so, part of my mission with this channel and with my coaching practice is to help those of you in my community who've also had this experience to understand that you can take your power back from bullies and abusers, and your story in the past doesn't have to be your story going forward. So in this video is going to be a continuation of the previous one where I was talking about how identity is a huge factor in how we take our power back, how we stand in our inner power. And in the previous video, I talked about how we can assume the identity that bullies and abusers want to put on us, that we will always be a victim and that we are always powerless. With that is how we can operate in a lot of limiting beliefs that keep us trapped. And a lot of this also does have a basis on internalizing things that bullies and abusers have said to us. They might have said, you're stupid, you're ugly, you'll never be good at anything, you'll never amount to anything, you're weird, you're, whatever kind of way they might have said. And we internalize that. That is what we accept that we're going to be. That's the dialogue that we feed back to ourselves. And we just carry that forward. Sometimes our internal, our dysfunctional beliefs, our limiting beliefs are as a result of other experiences we've had that maybe not bullying or abuse, but maybe we tried something and we failed and we got a story then that I'm always going to be bad at this. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'll always not have this skill. I'll always fail at relationships. I'll never be able to have a business. I'll never be able to pursue this dream or do whatever it is. And we just decide that that's what's going to happen. That becomes our story. And then we filter every experience and all of reality through this same false story that we will never be able to do or have or be whatever it is that we actually want. And so then that perpetuates. And a lot of times we may not necessarily be aware that we have limiting beliefs. But we can find out what our beliefs are by what we are saying to ourselves if we take time to listen to ourselves. And another avenue we get limiting beliefs is the cultural paradigm that we live in or that we grew up in, right? So some cultures and some societies have very strict rules about roles that different people can do, things that are right or wrong, things that are normal or not normal. And it can be very limiting and can be not even necessarily based on any particular logic or reality or anything healthy. It's just standards that have, or limitations that have been accepted by people and perpetuated through the generations. And we can tend to adopt those as our own stories and our own guidelines and standards without evaluating whether or not it's true and whether or not it is even right, and if it's true for us. Maybe these things are great for other people and it's not for us, but we limit ourselves by staying stuck. And it can look things like, my family always did this certain kind of job, so I have to, or only this certain way of doing things or thinking is the right way. Only these roles are appropriate for me. And we stay limited and we stay stuck. And we have this belief that I can't ever do anything other than that. If you want to start being aware of what your limiting beliefs are, listen to your first thoughts when you are encountering a situation where you have an opportunity to be different, right? So if you have an opportunity to perform in another role or go somewhere or do something or start a different project or just interact in a different way. And you hear this voice saying, no, I can't do that. I'm stupid. No, I can't do that. That's not right. No, my people don't do that. No, I'm male, female, young, old, whatever. So I can't do that because I have this. Well, I can't do that because I'm from this religion or this country, or I have this physical or medical challenge. Whatever it is, when you hear a voice telling you you can't do that because, you're probably either hearing the voice of an abuser or you're hearing your own limiting talk based on your past experiences, or you're hearing the voice of society or your community or some other authority figure or some other structure that wants to impose the same standards and the same rules and the same ways of being on everybody within that community. A good exercise to start figuring out this kind of thing is, as you can, when you hear these thoughts popping up, oh, I can't sing. Oh, I'm bad at math. Oh, people don't like me. Oh, I can't do this because I've never been good at sports. Oh, I'm not smart enough to start my own business, or whatever it is. Take note of that. Write it down if you can, or type a note on your phone or a voice message, or whatever it is that works for you. Start taking a note of that, and you will be surprised how many times throughout your day your self-talk, your inner dialogue is full of limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs become ingrained because that's what's repeated. It may have been repeated to you over all of your life, or you've repeated it to yourself. You undo that by repeating the opposite. Sorry, I hit everything and it shook. Repeat the opposite. So when you hear the no, I can't do that because I'm not smart enough. No, I am smart enough. Look at all these other things I've done that I'm smart at, that I'm good at. And that's not being narcissistic or conceited. It's true. We all know there are some things that we aren't good at and some things that we actually are, that are a gifting. Start replacing that. When, oh, I can't do that because I'm male or I'm female or I'm too old or too young or whatever. No. As long as you're here, you're not too old. And regardless of how you identify, there are things you can do. People are capable of doing all kinds of things if they put their mind to it. If you want it bad enough, understand that you can do that and start rewiring your mind that way. Find examples of other people who are like you, who have done or are being what you want to do, and start rewiring your mind of, I can do that. I can do that. No, I'm not stupid. No, I'm not ugly. No, I'm not awkward. No, I'm not that weird. There's other people like me. No, no, no. Argue with yourself in your mind about the negative beliefs. And is this hard to do? Yes. And even when you start becoming aware of it and you start practicing this, it's so easy to fall back into this other negative way of thinking. Absolutely. I mean, I'm aware of this and I've been practicing this for years, and I still can often default to, well, I can't do this because. And I have to stop and be like, no, Robbie, unless you want what's going forward to be what you had back there and you want to stay stuck, you ditch this thinking. No, you can. And it might take some work. Things don't necessarily always fall into our lap. Sometimes in order for us to do or be or become, it takes us working on ourselves or taking actual physical action to make these things happen, but it can be done. So start being aware of that. Start being aware of the limiting beliefs that you're saying to yourself. Start being aware of the limiting beliefs that others are speaking to you, trying to discourage you. And a lot of times this can look like, you say you want to do something, oh, well, now's not a good time because of the economy, or, oh, well, it's hard if maybe that's their story. That doesn't have to be your story. Do not accept that. Do not accept your own limiting beliefs. Take responsibility for the fact that you have inner dialogue that's not helping you, and start working on that. I found this to be very, very huge help for me. I came from a very like negative, pessimistic kind of upbringing where everything was doom and gloom and limitation, and that was my worldview for so long until I started realizing that that's not true. If there can be limitations, there can be opportunities. If something can be bad, it has the potential to be good. If other people have done it, so can I. And keep that in your mind. And this can be hard, particularly as we're confronted with daily challenges and overcoming all the other stuff that comes at us. And because we live in a very negative kind of a world, you get so much more negativity than you do positivity just being in the world. If you would like extra support, having someone who can see where you're coming from, hear things that maybe you're not hearing that you're saying to yourself, because sometimes we don't hear ourselves correctly. Somebody to bounce things off of, someone who can help you find other perspectives and other solutions within yourself because you have it in you. You already know what you need to do. Please connect with me. I love working with other people in my community. There's so much potential in the neurodivergent community, and we just have to believe in ourselves and see past what has been put on us and support each other. And I have found in my experience a lot of times if I can explain something to somebody who's outside the neurodivergent community and they have a reason why it won't work or they don't see what I'm saying, and I can tell the same thing to another neurodivergent person, and they see the opportunity, they see the thinking behind it, they see other possibilities, and it's very affirming and supportive to me because I know what I'm saying makes sense to somebody else. That it's not just me in my mind being delusional. So, yes, please do reach out if you would like extra support. I also do coaching for communication in the workplace and relationship, as well as root cause therapy to help get down to the bottom of limiting beliefs, and also teaching nervous system regulation and somatic processing that is tailored for neurodivergent minds and bodies and how we process that, because that can look very different from the mainstream neurotypical way of doing these practices. I know we're wired differently, and sometimes things don't work quite the same way. At any rate, thank you again for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.